Now, what is it with this insistence that the royal family, and in this instance, William and Kate, should now apologise for the entire monarchy for benefiting from the slave trade? It's just a hunch, but I suspect these very people demanding an apology are clutching their mobile phones as we speak, wearing clothes that may well have been made in a sweatshop in India, and probably can't wait to watch their favourite team playing at the Qatar World Cup, which they will either fly to in a plane if they can afford it, or they'll watch it on a device, both of which will undoubtedly have components mined or put together by modern-day slaves. Will they too apologise, or are their links to actual slavery right now not the same? There's a stench here, and it smells like hypocrisy. Look, I agree that involvement in the slave trade is not a good look, and that various countries absolutely have the right to choose who their head of state is. If they no longer feel that it's appropriate for the British monarch to have this role, then that is a matter for them, and good luck to them. William and Kate have acknowledged that the slave trade was a gruesome and inhumane business, but have stopped short of an apology. And frankly, why should they? Will you, who feel that they should, now lay down your mobile phone and acknowledge that you are complicit in a current slave trade and seek out the families who are being negatively impacted by your Western greed? I think the answer there is no. Oh, I get it. Your links to slavery are not the same because the royal family have benefited over decades and you are only benefiting for a short time. The slave trade happened hundreds of years ago and no one living now was in it. Yes, it played a part in creating a world order that saw black people at the bottom, but slavery is so widespread now that colour is no longer the main factor. Many countries, like Jamaica, have also benefited from the investment that came from having the Queen as head of state. You can't just ignore that. And there were Africans who also benefited and were part, and actively part, in the slave trade. Perhaps you're a descendant of one of them. If we are to keep going backwards in history to blame our ancestors for previous behaviours when those living now were not directly involved, how far back should we go? 500 years? 1,000? The beginning of mankind? And who gets the apology? You who are benefiting from modern-day slavery? I think if you look closely, you'll see a new empire emerging, and it looks to me like China, who are quietly colonising parts of the world, taking advantage of cheap labour and resources in the same way the British Empire did. So next time you're Googling on your mobile phone, whisper sorry, and whilst you're at it, don't forget to leave a note for all your descendants to do the same.